Hi everybody and welcome to Unit 2. I posted a bonus lecture this week about the importance of personality tests in the workplace. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking to you about how I personally use that. When I worked for the Marine Corps as the Director of Organizational Development for Marine Corps Bases Japan, I was lucky enough to be part of a team where we actually got to go and become Master Certified in a program called Four Lenses. It's actually derived from Myers-Briggs Personality, or MBTI, and it is used more in the workplace because one of the struggles that MBTI has is applicability. After people take the test, if they're not experts in organizational development or HR professionals, they get a lot of insight about how they are, but it can often be difficult for them to implement or actually use MBTI in the workplace. So the Marine Corps found a way to narrow down the different personality types to 4 different colors: blue, gold, green, and orange. And what they found was that those 4 colors made it easier for employees to have conversations about their differences and how they perceive information and so forth. So I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about that, because if you're thinking about implementing a personality test in the workplace, I think MBTI is great if you're really just working with a person one-on-one with coaching and you want to use that MBTI. It's very detailed and it can give a lot of insight to those employees, but not always as applicable as we would like it to be in the workplace. You might want to find a solution that limits the titles, if you will, of the people that are participating. There are 3 different personality types that I use in the workplace. I use 4 lenses when I'm doing team dynamics, and I use that to help people understand how they take in information and how they make decisions. At selection, I like to use either Hogan or DISC. You can research those online, but the nice thing about DISC is it actually comes with a printout of the person that you're considering hiring, and you can put it over the printout for the current manager for the position, and it's a transparency, so it'll immediately show you roadblocks in communication. And I actually like to do this prior to interviewing because it can help you to determine really great interview questions based on how that person performs on DISC. Hogan is similar. It's really an either or. You do have to be certified in those, but I will tell you, if you have the opportunity and the resources to get certified in either DISC or Hogan, they're great things to put on your resume. This week we're also talking about the different multiple intelligences, and as we're going to read in our text, Howard Gardner of Harvard identified 7 distinct intelligences, and I just want to give you a brief synopsis of those. You'll read more in detail. The first is the visual, and these people think in terms of physical space, like architects or sailors. One way that you're able to identify these types of learners is they can pick out patterns in data really easily. So it's a great type of intelligence. The bodily kinesthetic, these are people who are good at sports. They use their body very effectively, like dancers. Could also be professions like surgeons, where their fine motor skills have to be very honed. So that's another one. Musical. We often see a correlation between musical and good writers, or musical and mathematics. So there is a correlation between those different types of intelligences, but musical shows sensitivity to rhythm and sound, and they can pick up on changes in music better than others. Interpersonal happens to be my level of intelligence, is understanding and interacting with others. These students learn through interaction. They have many friends, empathy for others, and street smarts. Good communicators, so great negotiators, great counselors, great lawyers. Then there's the linguistic. This is my husband. He's able to pick up multiple different types of languages very easily, and I can barely learn Spanish. So, but linguistics, they use words effectively. So even if it isn't that they're focusing necessarily on different languages, they're really, really great at expressing themselves through either the written or spoken word. And then we have the logical or mathematical. They're really good at reasoning and calculating. They think conceptually, abstractly and are able to see and explore patterns in relationships. Now that we've kind of talked about some of these, you'll learn more about them. I want to give you just a really great management tip and something that I learned very early in my career that I think has made me good at building teams. And that's, I read a book called Go Put Your Strengths to Work. And it talks about in our culture how we expect people to be really great at everything. So when our children bring home grade cards, for instance, we expect them to have A's or B's in every subject. But based on Gardner's work, we understand that you can be extremely intelligent in certain areas but still struggle in others. And so what it teaches us as parents and as bosses is that yes, employees and our children must at least get a C, because C means meeting expectations. But rather than focusing on bringing that C up to a B or an A, we should get them enrichment in areas that they're naturally intelligent in. So in the courses where they're getting A's and B's, we should find them ways to expand that body of knowledge, if you will, rather than worrying about the C's, because everybody has areas where they only meet expectations. And the same is true for your employees. So learn what your employees are good at. Make sure that they're meeting expectations in every area of measurement, but let them excel in their natural areas and then build a team accordingly so that you have strong members of every intelligence from your team. I look forward to talking about this on the discussion board. I am going to try to give you all a link on the discussion board where you can take the multiple intelligence quiz, just in case you don't know the type of intelligence that you have. I think it's a great tool, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Email, text, or call if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great week.